go. So, Matt, this might be the first time we see a false start by a Sentry.
Looks like that could be the case.
Chat, does this change your odds? Anyone going to put in a last-minute vote for Purdue? 90% of the votes in for Texas A&M, but that should be the first ever false start by Texas A&M on the side of their Sentry. We'll have to see what happens there.
Looks like the Sentry starts to take off again, becoming a bit more of a threat to the field.
I'd have to get a rep on for an interview later to figure out what exactly that entails.
Ooh, a very quick first blood.
Really
Texas
utilizing
A&M.
the barrel switching technique there. Level 1 standard, twice as useful, twice as deadly for Texas A&M.
Already level 2. We know how well that level advantage is used on A&M. A&M pressing the attack, but not securing another kill after that first one. Still only level 2. It's going to take 2 more kills or a little bit more time to be able to become level 3 and have the ultimate advantage on 2 level 1 standards.
Yeah, I mean, chat is starting to cheer and appreciate Elizabeth, even if they're not from Texas A&M. She really has done a phenomenal job her last 2 years as pilot for the standard for Texas A&M, able to continue with incredible accuracy and good game sense as she pushes in again against Purdue, taking the Sentry down to 360 HP.
Like an actual negative 14 balance in terms of the projectile economy. Hero now coming out for Texas A&M with 10 projectiles. Purdue looking to take some shots at the Sentry for Texas A&M. Ooh, and that's going to be the Sentry ejected, putting Purdue actually in the lead versus Texas A&M. And that's going to be a hero kill for Texas A&M on Purdue as the Purdue balancing standard falls to a single hero shot.
3 minutes left to go, but that does catch them up on levels as well. All driven robots now level 2 on the field. Purdue ahead by way of Sentry health. If they can get a couple projectile hits onto the base of Texas A&M, that'll give them a more commanding lead as they still have a Sentry and a base shield protecting their own base health.
3 minutes left in the competition. It is anyone's game by this stage of the game.
It's odd that Sentry ejection took so long, Matt. I don't know if that's intended, but Purdue able to get a little bit of chip damage onto the base. Very impactful early in the game. Still in the first half of the match.
That's going to be another kill for standard 3 from Texas A&M. As the Sentry for Purdue is now taking a lot of damage. The hero's moving to body block from that base kill.
Texas A&M standard, again, a menace on the field, a menace in the match, able to get a double kill and start catching up and surpasses the Purdue advantage on base HP.
Projectiles low and having to go back to resupply. Texas A&M is actually going to have to wait a little bit because there's currently no money in the bank account to pull some resources out of thin air. If you look on the right of the screen, that's the 2 cockpits of both of the Texas A&M robots as they move to attack the base. And you can see just how little damage you take comparatively as a level 3. Ooh, and that's going to be huge damage coming across with the hero doing a substantial amount to the Purdue base, and that's going to be enough to take it out.
Woo! Making short work of the base of Purdue there with their hero. Again, that nice hero standard strat that we've seen from Texas A&M. Kind of an older strat, Matt. This is the typical strategy that teams were aiming for in previous years. Texas A&M now kind of having perfected what they were going for in the last couple of years.
Their hero that we saw, I think, at this point, 2-3 games ago, have a jam. It does not look like they've had any jams in the hero since, and so it's a matter of I just think they got to have those robots work on the field, and that's what they're going to make sure.
3, 2, 1, game start. Here we go. Texas A&M versus Purdue. A&M notably able to keep their Sentry inside of the box during this competition, but definitely doesn't look like it's going to be trying to fire at anything. When the head is locked with the chassis there, that's not usually indicative of a Sentry that's going to be very interactive in a game. Texas A&M coming out strong here, putting all their projectiles early into that standard, trying to build a level lead, as is their typical strategy. You can see this barrel heat juggle that they're able to do using their 2 barrels.
Very impactful in the early game, as now Purdue is on the retreat back to that zone. Looks like A&M is not going to let them get away without a price, though. It's a very, very close on whether or not Purdue is going to fall and give an early level advantage to Texas A&M, or if they're going to be able to have to back off.
Purdue doing much better in this match. I think in the first minute of the game, not giving any level XP advantage over to Texas A&M until right now.
That level advantage now is going to be capitalized, as we've seen so many different times from Texas A&M. The barrel heat is just so much better.
Double kill.
Ooh, that's going to be another tough hit for Purdue, as the standard for Texas A&M knocks standard for Purdue offline once more. Texas A&M securing 2 more blood bags, meaning that they're going to be able to heal should Purdue be able to do enough damage to them to need to go back and do so. 1 more kill from Texas A&M, I believe, is going to be what tips the scale even more heavily in Texas A&M's favor.
Yeah, I mean, they're at a Sentry health disadvantage actually here. Good job from Purdue by getting that small chip damage lead. But with the XP advantage going the way of Texas A&M and having more than half the match left to go, this should still be pretty clearly in the favor of Texas A&M. Now trying a Virginia Tech move, trying to chew through the base shield of Purdue.
Might be a good time for Texas A&M to try to start trying some new angles for the hero to see if they can actually make some more challenging shots instead of the closer up ones that we've seen them be able to burst down quickly.
Looks like chat agrees with Matt that this was a good use of the timeout. Really excited to see how this goes for him for the rest of the match. Texas A&M actually
Hero
getting
falling.
killed by the level 3 standard now for Purdue University. Look at Purdue go. They are slightly behind by Sentry HP, but now level 3 standard to level 3 standard, you're going to have barrel swap on the side of Texas A&M, but balancing buffs on the side of Purdue.
Well, I think the real question here is why Texas A&M did not buy more ammo after going back to the depot. About to be dry, and there it is. Going to need to return to be able to do more damage.
I think this is a misplay here by Purdue, driving right past the standard for Texas A&M while it was firing at their Sentry, not taking a chance to do a little bit of defense there. But we've got a very wide-angle view that gives us a lot of background knowledge.
We also can know ammo counts of all the robots, and
yep,
that's a very big help. Texas A&M hero taking on an interesting 20 projectiles, leaving the standard with no currency left. Could be a different change in strategy, just trying to see if the hero is able to do what it needs to do, going all the way through the Purdue base, and that looks like exactly what Texas A&M is going to be doing. And there's some damage on the base, making Texas A&M now strongly in the lead, even though that sentry for Purdue is still alive, just showcasing how fast that base can be destroyed by a hero.
Texas A&M killing the sentry and the base right at the same time, I believe. My goodness. Another big win for Texas A&M, who will stay in the winner's bracket of the double elimination tournament of the playoffs for RMNA 2023.
Sentry looking a little bit better than last time. We can see it from the caster desk.
There we go.
As long as it stays within those bounds, should be good. But it's searching, not just spinning all the way around.
2, 1. Game start. Purdue versus Texas A&M. Round 1. Texas A&M going to come back with a vengeance. We're all ready to see what Elizabeth can do with Blue Standard 3. Really the highlight of their early game. Already getting some chip damage down. You can see that health buff that the balancing standard has for Purdue.
I believe it also took a health-focused upgrade path, because that's not typical of the other balancing standards that we've seen. Looks like the Purdue Sentry is going to be doing some random firing, just like we saw earlier with New York University.
That's the Sentry of Purdue, actually, firing away very loud here in the arena. They're about halfway through their ammunition, doing the NYU spray and pray strategy, but using double barrel projectiles. They're about halfway through their rounds already.
Looks like Texas A&M Sentry was actually taking some shots. 5 projectiles have left the TAMU Sentry barrel.
First blood.
Chad, I can't hear anything in this arena. 200 projectiles left. Texas A&M actually falling behind. Purdue, plot armor engaged. They have a 129 HP advantage. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the game. Purdue does have a power issue there. And the Sentry now stopping with 43 projectiles left. Who knows if they're just not able to fire them, or if their Sentry is deciding not to Texas A&M wasting some projectiles here on an invincible base. There we go.
That's not an invincible base. It's on the overshield. Overshield's down to about 25%. The hero having 2 more projectiles left. Standard not having any. More than likely, Texas A&M is going to use the money that's going to come in from the 3-minute mark for projectiles for their standard.
Good call there, Matt. Texas A&M able to chip away about 1,100 of the health of that overshield.
Ooh, Purdue chipping away at the health of the Sentry. That's going to bring Purdue into the lead by Sentry health. 3 minutes left in the match. Anything can happen. 2 level 1 robots on the side of Purdue. It's going to be very hard to come back from.
Texas A&M starting to rack up some kills on their standard. Level 2 achieved.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Level advantage on the side of Texas A&M. Slight health advantage now also gained by Texas A&M. They've really been able to show a good use of snowballing in these games, Matt. Once they get started, they just are able to get larger and larger leads.
See if the Sentry is going to be able to engage the Purdue robot that is currently attacking it. Looks like it might not, as the standard comes in to try and defend, and the hero comes in as well.
Standard from Purdue falling very, very low in HP. Able to make it back, though, probably chasing the hero, actually, of Texas A&M.
Texas A&M robots both being out of ammo. Similar problems to how University of Washington was running into ammo problems, but this time they do not have the excuse of having 2 17mm projectiles and trying to take an entire base down. It might just be chalked up to
well, and at the
inaccuracy.
2-minute mark, both teams receiving 300 gold. Texas A&M spending all of that already. That's going to give them the option of taking out the base of Purdue as they chunk down both the base and the Sentry at the same time, now eating into the health of the base of Purdue, gaining a substantial lead.
Double kill.
Pretty good position for Texas A&M. A little bit hard to recover from for Purdue, but their standard level 3, or their standard 3 is now level 2, which their standard 3 is their prominent aspect of Purdue.
Yeah, that's that balancing standard that's been performing much better over the week.
That is, in fact, on the side of Purdue.
Texas A&M standard 3 doing really well. Their hero really
once again,
getting them
Texas
the advantage
A&M
in
is
this game.
completely out of projectiles. Ooh, and that's going to be a knockout, actually, from Purdue. Cream of the crop standard taking out one of those
50
heroes.
seconds left in the game, and that advantage garnered by Keegan, driving the hero of Texas A&M, still holding up.
Ooh, and that's going to knock the Sentry offline just for good measure. As they now move on to the more of a defensive front with a hefty lead. Seeing that capability of the barrel switch being quite a strong aspect of this competition, as Texas A&M now takes another kill on Purdue's balancing standard 3.
That was a really nice viewpoint to showcase one of the advantages of a balancing standard. You could see them blocking the projectiles with their wheels there. Nine seconds left, and it looks like round 1 will go the way of Texas A&M, but Matt, that was much, much closer for the first 2 or 3 minutes than I would have predicted.
It certainly was, but it looks like Texas A&M just ran out of ammo a lot. I think they were spending more projectiles, or spending more currency on the hero projectiles, trying to get Keegan perhaps a little bit more practice in hitting those projectiles, but we'll see how that ends up turning out in the second round.
Chunking through that base shield does,
but you can only assume that they have even more of those in their back pocket.
3, 2, 1.
Texas A&M, if they win this, move on in the winner's bracket. Neither team is eliminated entirely from the competition, as both teams have won a match to get here
Chad
in a
is
double
getting
elimination
spicy.
bracket.
I'm going to watch the match instead. All right, so we've got Texas A&M putting all of their projectiles into the standard. It looks like the classic opening for Texas A&M. We have Purdue splitting their projectiles between their 2 standards, which is interesting, Matt. It will allow them to maybe be able to 2v1 one of these robots, but instead they split and cover both lanes.
Well,
Not able to 1v1 that early advantage of the swapped barrels, though.
I think that Sentry might be looking for a target. Sweeping pattern did change.
Matty D is asking about the Sentry from Texas A&M. It is now firing. It's got 744 projectiles left. Starts with 750, so let's see if it's able to fire any more.
We'll see if the Purdue robots actually are able to get into the vision range of the erratic searching pattern. Texas A&M Sentry. Texas A&M Hero securing those blood bags in the center, giving him 2 extra for the team. Blood bags are the only way to heal in this game besides the, I guess, tiny amount of healing that you get whenever you are going from 0 to about 25% health when you get revived.
Standard 3 for Texas A&M, going and dealing some damage to the Sentry, but still behind. This is what we saw last round too, Matt. Purdue with the early lead. Texas A&M really playing for that late game level scaling on their Standard and Hero.
Looks like they're going to get it as the standard kill comes across again for Texas A&M. Now attacking the Sentry with reasonable precision. I say reasonable. There was only 2 projectiles hitting 2 volleys, but
yeah, I
can't win
don't know,
them all.
chat. I don't know why the Sentry for Purdue is not spraying and praying the double frag as you have deemed it.
Let's see if Texas A&M Sentry is actually able to locate a target if Purdue actually ends up coming around the corner. Dude, once again getting knocked out. Level 2 Hero, level 2 Standard for Texas A&M. We've seen them use this level advantage with extreme efficiency, as well as using these double barrels with, you can see the benefit of having 2 of these barrels. When it's one he overheats, they can switch to the other. That's very low heat, and that's going to just secure a Sentry kill. Purdue now quite behind with a Sentry from Texas A&M at 520 health. Their Sentry is completely knocked out. Their robots also at a severe level disadvantage. 2 minutes, 20 seconds level quadra kill. I think that's
Can't you go for Penta? Play for Penta! Play for Penta!
If the Penta's able to be secured, that's going to be a Pentakill ace. Looks like ammunition is going to be there.
There's so little health left on Standard 4 if Texas A&M can take it down.
That would be the first Pentakill. It's already the first quadra kill. Looks like that's not going to be the case as the blood bag is played for, and Texas A&M is going to be playing safe. Elizabeth said she wanted the smoke. Does not look like she's looking for it this round.
Texas A&M's Hero, now Keegan moving in late game. He's been the hero of the team, chunking away Purdue's health. Dominant fashion, Texas A&M earning back their timeout and taking Purdue down in a best-of-3 twice now. 2 matches in a row.
Mohawk or no Mohawk, does not look like Samson is on the team of Texas A&M as they're able to secure this win and now move on in the loser bracket. Purdue is